Hello everyone, welcome back to the class. As in module number 16, you will learn about the introduction to rigging and what kind of thing we should keep in mind before start the rigging. So in module number 17, we will learn about the tools of rigging and the essential tool required for the rigging. For example, how you can work with a constraint, how you can work with a several parameter available into the rigging pipeline. Now let's switch to the Maya application and have a look how the tools require and how you can use the tools into the Maya for rigging purpose.
Hello everyone, welcome to this course of rigging in Autodesk Maya. So let's continue our session. So before rigging, you should have to understand the concept of joining. Joining means bones. So at first, by default, you should be go in polygon, but after that you will change to animation because polygon panel is basically for modeling. And animation, you have the bones, you have the animation panel, you have the rigging system and all, which all combined in this particular section. If you click this, the upper panel will change. As you can see here, if I go to polygon, the upper panel will change. Each and everything has its own property features which is situated at the top. Rest of the things will be same. So we will go to animation and see our upper panel will change. From animate, here it will change. This panels are same till window. After that, asset will change or animate will change. So that means if you click over here, okay, from select will change, here animation, animate will change, asset till asset will be there at your screen. So make sure that you are in animate panel. So you have to understand the concept of rigging. At first, what is rigging? Rigging is basically the structure and the formation of bone, which is also known as skeletal system. Skeleton system is very important. If you want to animate a particular character which has been created by you, you have to do the rigging. That means you have to set the bones, you have to make the skeleton of that particular character, or even living thing or non-living thing. In non-living thing also, like car, bike, bus and any other electronic material, robot, we have to set up the bones and certain parameters also. So we will discuss about IK, which is invert kinematics, and FK, which is forward kinematics. We will discuss about the constraint, which is the looking constraint. So we have the constraint panel, we have skinning. This will bind your bones to the model. That means your bones and your model will be combined with each other. Whatever you will adjust in the bone, it will directly affect your model. So we will discuss skin also, and we'll first focus on skeleton. Then with following this thing, we will do one by one. So it has many panels, so we will mainly focus on main topics of that. So let's start. At first, we'll go to skeleton. Here you have the join tool. What is join tool? If you click over here and if you make at your grid, you find that if you click at a particular point, you find this circular type of shape, which is sphere. This is the joint. If you click over here, it will form a bone. As you can see here, this is a particular bone. As you can click over and over, you can create bones. If you want to escape, you just press enter, then your bone will be formed. Now again, if you want to take another bone, just go to join tool and just click and you can make another bone. Press enter. Now you have done with it. And so these are the bones. If you click any of the part, it's only selecting this amount of part. If you click this part, it will only select this amount of part. If you select this part, it will not select this amount of part. What is this? Because this is the children which is connected to the parent. This is the parent. So this is the children. That means the children of this and the children of this one will connect to this thing. So one by one it will follow the same. That means children to parent, like this, children to parent. If you select this part, this is only a particular children. But if you select this part, this is the main you can say main point of the bone, which is also known as the pelvis point, which creates which supports all the thing. That means is all are the children of this particular bone. So whatever you want to move, it will move all the bones, because this is the parent and all the children is following the parent. And if you move this particular part, it will only move that particular part. In rigging, we don't have to do the rotation, because sometimes it will give the error. So after getting connected to the body, or even getting use the skin, then we will do the rotation purpose. But now we will not rotate the same, because at first we have to understand the concept of bone, and after that we will do the same. One more thing is that if you have a model, then you will make your bone in this top, front or side. You will not make any bone in perspective. For examine purpose, you can make your bone in perspective. If you want to understand the concept of bone, you can make in perspective. But if you have any model, so you will not make in the perspective, you will make in the top, front and side. So when I will take the model, I will just make the bone in top, front and side, because if you make anything, any bone in perspective, then you don't know the size of the bone, and you have to just manually go to window and just open the size system and all. So that would be much more hectic. So like this way you can add bones. If I delete this, and if I want to make bones for the palm and the fingers, what I will do, see, I go to join tool, I will click one by one, and so this is the main bone, this is the middle part of the finger, this is the end part of the finger, and this is the tip of the finger. So if you select this bone, if you press Ctrl D, you can easily duplicate your bone. Ctrl D again, duplicate your bone. To repeat your result, you will press Shift D. That means Shift D will allow you to repeat up your result. See, so we need only 4, and now you have to modify the same, because modification is very important. So there are 2 steps. If you want to edit its pivot, because it has pivot. See, we have this particular thing, which is the x-axis and the y-axis, because we are in 2D mode. If you go to this perspective, we have the 3D mode. Blue stands for Z, green stands for Y, and yellow stands for X. So here we have only X and Y axis. So if you want to modify its pivot, you will press insert on your keyboard. Now you can modify your pivot. See, you can easily modify your pivot like this way. Ctrl Z, we don't need to rotate the same. By pressing insert, you can modify your pivot like this. You can stretch out like this way. So if you select any of the bone, if you go to channel box, here you find the radius. This is the joint. Joint stands for bone. So there is a typical name for the joint. Inside Maya software, we call it joint, and outside it we call it bone. So both are same, we don't have to create the confusion. And so if you select any of the joint, and if you go to channel box, here you find the radius. If you click this radius, if you increase the size of the radius, if I increase by 1, what happens? That particular joint will be increased. Ctrl Z. If you want to increase the size of this particular bone, then I will press 2. What happens here? You can see here the particular size of the joint has increased. Ctrl Z. Okay, now one more thing is that at first each and every finger is different in size, so you have to first see the finger. After that you will just grab this thing like this and will edit according to your need, and make sure that you will not stretch the bone so much. You have to look at first, examine the first, and then you will stretch the same. Okay, so it needs so much of precision, so we will at first look at it and we'll just do the same. So you need a reference also, or if you have a live example, that would be better. For animal, you should have a reference. If you want to make the bones of animal and want to embed in a particular model, so that time you will have the reference. That would be much more beneficial, and it would be accurate also. So one more thing is that if you select any of the joint, go to display, and here you have the animation. Here you have the joint size. If you click here, it is 1. If I increase it, see all the size of the joint gets increased. So like this way you can also increase each and every joint size. And if you want to increase by individual, just click over here, go to channel box. Here you have the radius, so you can increase one by one. Or if you want to increase all of them, just select any one of the bone joint, go to display. Here you have the animation, and here you have the joint size, so you can increase like this. Now we have made the dummy fingers, and what I will do now, just I will make one more thing. I will go to joint tool, and I will just click one more part, click and click. So this would be the palm, this particular section. And one more thing just forgotten, just control D, the same, will click over here, just rotate like this, and we have to make the thumb. Control Z will rotate in only one direction, that would be better. I think we have to avoid the rotation, so I will make it by myself. We'll go to top, and at first we'll make it center align, and then we'll go to skeleton joint tool, click, click, click and click. Little bit of adjustment. If you want to adjust by pressing inset for pivot, you should do it well. It's better, inset, and we'll adjust the same. Okay, now after that what happens here, if I select this thing, and one more thing is that if you want to connect all the bones, you can do it well. And simply what you have to do, just select the children at first, then the parent, and press P. Now the thing has been connected. So by selecting the children and the parent, we'll select this P. Yeah, it can work quite well. Select this one, and we'll select the main bone. That means children to parent. At first select the children, then the parent, P. Now as you can see, all the bones has been connected with each other. And one more thing, bone is not been rendered. It's an hollow type of thing, so it cannot be rendered or cannot be view in the rendered option. So this is a hollow. It's only for animating or giving the movement or giving the structure of a particular thing. So it's not been rendered. So you can do it by connecting two bones by hitting on P. So one more thing is that there are many panels, so we will discuss main thing from each and every panel. And if you want to deconnect any bone, if you select this bone, if you press shift P, then it will deconnect the same. So this is the children and this is the parent, so it's connected to the parent, so it will disconnect the same. But if you want to connect, select this one and shift select this one, press only P, so it will connect the same. So there is a parenting and unparenting. For unparenting, what you have to do, just select the bone and the main bone, press shift P, it will unparent the same. Control Z, shift P, it will unparent the same. If you want to connect to the bone, select the child and the bone, P again. So shift P for unparenting, only P for parenting. And one more thing, if I select this bone and shift P, if you want to connect, and if you have any another bone inside it, I will create a new joint, click here, this is a new joint. I think yeah, it's a new joint. If you want to connect both of them, yeah, you can connect. Simply clicking over here. If you want to connect this one first, you will connect to this one. We have to select the child, shift selecting this one, P parented, select the child, we'll select this one, P parent. So now it increased one bone, so we don't need that. And so what we will do now, shift P, delete this part, and if I select this one, shift select this one, P, so only two bone is there. So if you want to add extra bone in between them, what you have to do, go to this one, and here you have, so you can do it by insert joint. So at first I will select this part because we have to insert so much more in between them. So go to skeleton, here you have insert joint tool, click over here and we'll click like this. So at first you have to click on the main joint and then click over here like this way. If you want to make a new joint in between them, that means this is a bone and this is the end bone and it doesn't have any bone in between them. So if you want to make the joint between them, what you will do, just select the upper bone, the parent bone, and will go to skeleton. Here you have the insert joint tool. By selecting this part and will just drag the thing like this. So you can select or you can create some joints. This part is over. Now we'll switch to the next part and we'll look more into the bones and its connection.
Hope you understand the same. Let's meet to the next session.